Melbourne Victory are cracking down on unruly fans with tough new rules. The anti-hooligan measures will force supporters to stand in assigned spaces at matches and carry photo ID.
Yeah, let's bring in Shelley Horton to join Peter Stefanovic to discuss this. So let's go to you first of all, Shelley, on this one.
Yep.
There have been issues at games, we know this, involving flares and fights and problems with police. Is this a middle ground solution to say you can still come to the footy, but you're going to have to stand where we want you and you're going to have to be identifiable?
I don't have a problem with it. I think the fact that, you know, we see on the news all the time the flares and that leads to riots and people are complaining and saying, we want to bring our families here. So therefore, I think it makes sense that if you feel like you've got some troublemakers, then you have them in assigned areas and you can be making sure that you keep an eye on them a lot more thoroughly.
Pete, is it something that should be introduced for all A-League clubs?
I mean, I'm a football fan, a soccer fan, have been since I was a kid, and I just find it ridiculous that this is still going on. People want to fight over a game, you know. I mean, sure, something has to be done. You know what they do in England, though, is that they bring the games forward to midday and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, mostly, to discourage boozing on and then getting rowdy at the football, and they find that has reduced hooliganism massively in England anyway. So, I don't know, maybe something should be done here about that, or at least just take out the night games and bring them much earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame for people to miss out, but you're not going to miss out based on this solution, because previously the idea was, look, if you're a troublemaker, you're gone, you won't be part of the game.
And sometimes, you know, the hooligans, they biff on outside the stadium too, so if you're going to segregate the crowds, it's not, you know, how are you going to do that outside the stadium, you know?
Right, we'd love your thoughts on that one this morning. Moving on, a national survey has revealed Australians are spending more time looking at screens than engaging with family and friends. Shelley, this is an age-old one, but I'll tell you what, it's becoming even more relevant as time goes on, isn't it?
I'm so guilty. I spend so much time on my phone and my husband is just like, pay attention to me. And like for him to even say that, I'm like, oh my God, I've got to get off it. It is really hard, but it is also part of our jobs. Like we've got to stay up to date with what's happening. I find it really...
Excuses.
I know. I find it really hard. I actually do feel addicted. I just had a week at a health retreat where there was no Wi-Fi and it actually was nice.
Yeah.
I felt completely disconnected, but that made me feel more relaxed.
Do you know what's disturbing about this? Apparently, we spend 46 hours a week looking at our phones or devices and yet only 6 hours engaging with loved ones. And that to me is a real worry, and I'm sure, Ben, you would know with having children too, like you become much more aware of it.
Definitely.
Don't you? I mean...
Well, but you know what the problem here is, and I've tried to at least limit the amount of time I spend on my phone, but after a while you get a bit bored and you're like, yeah, I'll go and see what else. And you've got so many apps these days. They do everything for you. Basically, your whole life is organised in this little device.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
I usually check the Instagram throughout the night.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Shelley, what's the first thing you do?
First thing, before I even go to the toilet.
Shelley?
I check the phone.
Sonia?
No, I don't.
You don't look
The
at
alarm goes off, I don't look
Emails?
at it. No, I just get up. I don't, no.
Sometimes you have a little giggle, you know. You look at some of the latest posts.
Make it a happy day.
Through your eyes, you know.
Really?
It isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, for a lot of people,
hasn't
it has
been my
become the last thing we do
recently.
before going to sleep
Yeah.
and the first thing we do when we wake up.
I've banned the phone going to sleep, so I don't look at my phone for an hour before I go to bed, and I read a book instead, and I find I'm going to sleep so much easier. And I think it's that screen on your eyes.
But it's weird when you go to a wedding now, and I went to one not that long ago, and there was a group of, like, you know, young
Yes.
people. You know how you have, like, the Legends table and then you've got the young people table?
Yeah.
And the young people table were all just...
Yeah.
They weren't even engaging with each
Well, you
other.
know what you're
And
gonna
as
do?
a recent bride, can I say I was not happy with people tweeting photos that I hadn't approved of my
Right.
wedding
There you
dress.
go.
All you got to do
I
is
don't need approval.
you got to play the phone stack game, right?
Yeah.
When you're at
Oh,
lunch
yeah.
or dinner, where you put all the phones in the middle of the table
Yes.
on top of each
Yeah.
other,
Yes.
and the first person to touch their phone
Yes.
pays for lunch or dinner.
Is that right?
And that really
would cost
changes
me
the game.
a lot of money.
What happened if
That
mine's not here?
changes the game.
But what happened if one phone in particular is just ringing non-stop? So there's
Well,
obviously
don't touch
an urgent call coming in.
Don't touch it.
You know, is that a grey area for the game?
It's a grey area.
You're already looking anxious. Pete's like, what about the caveat that will get me out of that?
If you think that makes him anxious, finally, the top things couples do in public that embarrass their partners have been revealed. So arguing, spilling secrets and revealing intimate bedroom moments all top the list. Then there's bad clothing choices, drinking too much, embarrassing dancing and telling bad jokes. Now, Pete.
That's just the list that Sylvia gave.
I'm constantly guilty of telling bad jokes.
Yeah.
But I mean, arguing, I wouldn't be inclined to do that in public.
No.
It's not your style.
That's just no.
Did-
What's the other one there? Getting drunk.
Getting
Okay,
drunk?
that's being too affectionate. No, I don't do that. I don't think.
Does
Bad
your-
clothing. I don't think so.
Does your other half do anything, Shelley?
You know what? The thing is, he doesn't. I do.
Oh.
And so I feel sorry for him. The thing that I have found, though, getting older is... So my partner's not as outgoing as I am, and so I would want him to be more conversational and at parties and things like that, and that would stress me out. And then you've just got to realise he's fine. That's how he is. So I'm pushing my expectations onto him, and once I let that go, it's so much
What's
easier.
annoying about you, Sonia?
Me? What isn't?
Whew, how much time have we got?
Exactly. You mean to Craig,
Yes.
my other half?
Yeah.
What's annoying to him? Oh, gosh. I think I'm a bit like Shelley. I would tend to be the more outgoing one and he's the more reserved one
Yeah.
in public. And sometimes I'm kind of like, you know, go on, speak,
Go,
speak,
chat.
you know. So,
Yeah.
Poor fella.
that's,
you-
that's
and you?
probably
What about
me.
you, Benny?
Oh, mate, I can't think of anything that
Oh, no.
that annoys me about Jodie, which worries me because I think, God, imagine all the things that I do that annoy her.
Yeah.
But she's too polite to even tell me what they are.
Really?
I'll ask her tonight.
Oh.
He's a saint.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
she's the
pretty
same.
forthcoming with the criticism.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh, yeah. Poor Craig.
Poor Craig, nothing.
Listen, if you want to dob in your partner over anything
Yeah.
annoying, if you've got photographic or video evidence, you could
Send
always
it
send it
through.
in to us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shelley.
Pleasure.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Peter.
Who's going to pick up the phone?
Pete will be back a little later on with some more news.
Still to come this Thursday, she was the teen synonymous with trouble.